What is up, Celtics Nation? James Anderson here, bleeding green. Smash that like button right now and make sure you're subscribed because today's talk is vital for our season. The beatdown on the Lakers was beautiful, but there is a hidden tactical detail in that victory that changes everything. However, the real bombshell is something else. There is a trade rumor circulating that puts the future of our front court at stake. Is Brad Stevens planning a risky move for a center who is injured? Is it genius or madness and surprised? The answer is going to surprise you. Let's break this down right now. There is no better feeling in the world than seeing our biggest rival walk off the court completely dazed, right? The Boston Celtics absolutely steamrolled the Los Angeles Lakers 126-105 in one of those wire-to-wire victories that is just good for the soul. Of course, the haters are going to say, oh, but the Lakers were missing LeBron James and Luka Doncic, and that's fine. Let them cry. Our job was to crush whoever was on the floor, and that is exactly what happened. But Celtics fans, the scoreboard is the least important thing here. What really matters is how we won. Good old Missoula ball is back in full force, and that is a massive signal to the rest of the league. Remember that philosophy of insane three-point volume and hallucinating pace? Well, it's back. It only took 7 minutes in the first quarter for us to double their point total. The team locked into such an absurd rhythm that Austin Reeves, poor guy, literally let slip an oh shellbacks, and sorry for the language, but that's exactly what happened, when he realized we had already dropped 39 points on them in the first period alone. The Lakers tried to call timeout, tried to adjust, but the bombardment didn't stop. We finished the night with 24 made threes on a ridiculous 53.3% shooting clip. That is not luck. That is a system. That is identity. And the man conducting this orchestra was our own Jaylen Brown. Returning from illness, the guy didn't just drop 30 points. He dished out 8 assists, reading the defense and finding everyone open. JB understood that without Tatum in this transition season, he needs to elevate his teammates, and it worked. Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Sam Hauser, everyone contributed. But the big story, the one that makes us grin from ear to ear, goes by the name of Jordan Walsh. Guys, Walsh isn't just a project anymore. He is reality. That's 10 straight games as a starter now, and the kid keeps evolving. He put up 17 points against the Lakers with 4 made threes, just 24 hours after hitting a career high against the Wizards. We already knew about his defense, but this offensive confidence changes everything. He is plugging holes in the rotation with impressive maturity for a third-year player. Sam Hauser himself said it's special watching these guys figure out who they are in the NBA. Curiously, Joe Mazzulla tried to pump the brakes, saying in the press conference that the team is just going through a stretch of shooting luck. Classic Joe, right? He calls it luck. But we see the ball movement, the spacing, and the reads. That is hard work. We are sitting at 14-9, right near the top of the East, in a season many said would be a wash. The team is flying under the radar, confidence is through the roof, and the system works. But what if I told you that, even with all this going right, the front office isn't satisfied? While we are celebrating three-pointers, Brad Stevens is looking at a specific roster weakness that not even Jordan Walsh can solve. And the solution might come from a trade that is going to divide opinions. Now take a deep breath and hold on to your chair, because this is the part that will test the heart and rationality of any Celtics fan. While we celebrate Walsh and the rebirth of Missoula ball, there is a silent and dangerous movement behind the scenes that could define our defensive identity, not just for today, but for the next 5 years. Journalist Dan Favale from Bleacher Report dropped a strategic bomb that is splitting the fan base. The Celtics should seriously, and I mean seriously, consider an immediate trade for Utah Jazz center Walker Kessler. I know what you are screaming at the screen right now. But James, are you crazy? Didn't Kessler blow out his shoulder? Isn't he out for the entire season? Yes, you are absolutely right. He's not back until 2026. And that is exactly where, in this medical tragedy, the genius or the complete madness of this deal lies. Let's analyze Brad Stevens' chess game. Kessler's market value has tanked. The Utah Jazz are in a tight spot. The kid is going to be a restricted free agent, RFA, at the end of the season, and they have to decide if they want to pay a fortune to renew an injured center. It is the classic buy low market opportunity. If we act now, we could bring in an elite rim protector, a monster who was averaging 2.4 blocks and grabbing 12 rebounds a game, paying a fraction of what he would be worth if he were 100% healthy. It would be, in theory, guaranteeing the spiritual successor to Porzingis' defense for the next decade, paying pennies on the dollar. But here enters the great moral and tactical conflict of this story, and it has a Portuguese name and surname, Nemias Queta. Let's be fair, our big Queta wasn't supposed to be playing this well in a transition season. He entered the roster as an insurance policy, a third option, and suddenly turned into a reliable anchor in the paint. The guy raised this team's defensive floor in a way nobody expected. He doesn't have the Kessler name brand, sure, but he delivers offensive rebounds, brute physical presence, and most importantly, he is available today. He has chemistry with Jaylen Brown, he understands Mazzulla's rotations, and his energy is contagious. The cruel question hammering inside the front office's head is it worth sacrificing assets now, maybe spending precious draft picks or even rotation pieces, for a player who is going to sit on the bench in street clothes watching our 2025 playoffs? Trading for Kessler is an incredibly high-risk bet. You would be telling the current roster, guys, Figure it out in the playoffs, because our big secret weapon only arrives next year. On the other hand, imagine a center rotation with a healthy Kessler starting and Queta coming off the bench in 2026. It would be the best rim protection in the NBA, no discussion. It's the classic dilemma. Do you prefer the safety of the bird in the hand, which is Queta helping us win tough games now, or the ambition of two in the bush, risking the present to build an unstoppable dynasty in the future? This is a choice that separates good teams from legends, but it could also cost us the back-to-back championship. Celtics Nation, the situation is complex. On one side, we massacred the Lakers, proving the current squad, with Walsh's rise and Queta's strength, can fight for the title. On the other, the temptation to guarantee an elite defensive future with Kessler, even if it means sacrificing the present. It's a crossroads between trusting the now or securing the dynasty. I want your honest opinion in the comments. Is bringing in the injured Kessler a fatal mistake or a Brad Stevens masterclass? Can Queta hold down the fort alone? Comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and let's go Celtics.